While Mexican underworld works based on respect, then some funny mistakes still slip in. Your image is the main thing to take care of when you're in the cartel. Nicknames are usually given based on the craziest things you've done or the way you look, but these 6 nicknames you're gonna see in this video are out of the ordinary to say the least. Gustavo Gonzalez Castro, 𝐿_𝐸𝐴. One would wonder what would make a former top Mexican military member and the leading member of the most notorious armed drug group, Los Zetas, bear the name 𝐿_𝐸𝐴. Well, the reason isn't far-fetched. Right from his young age, Gustavo Gonzalez Castro was the ladies' man. And as growing up, the effect rubbed off well on him with his brown eyes, nicely trimmed beards, and hair that he took a great deal of time to keep perfect always. Seeing how his friends in the army were loved and respected by everybody was enough motivation for him to seem for a quick enrollment. This act shocked those around him who had the strongest belief. Gonzalez, with his love for life, wouldn't dare risk it by joining the army. In the army, he was known for his smooth talk and swift and efficient carrying out tasks, including shootouts and combats. It took a little while until he found a new hobby that would make life more beautiful. With enough cash and more beautiful women to be with, he joined the newly formed drug group and got his name changed to Z15 𝐿_𝐸𝐴. To his group members, he was sent to gather information from females about their enemies and competitions by compelling them with his sweet mouth to do the group's bidding. With his prowess and name, he gained more districts and information about everybody in the city, mainly the politicians and the security operatives, because of their lust and money-driven mindset, which always led to their untimely ruin. Craziest thing he's done, he was one of the best assassins in Los Zetas. This already speaks for itself. Also, he orchestrated a massive prison break where he and his team freed 25 inmates who were their cartel buddies. And he's still a fugitive, a status that most dead or imprisoned cartel members only dream of. Oscar Eduardo Guerrero Silva, Winnie Pooh. I think Winnie the Pooh is the funniest name a drug kingpin and a member of the notorious Los Zetas would have. To cartel members, each of them likes to be called a separate name, primarily for their looks, appearances, and behavior. For Oscar Eduardo Guerrero Silva, also known as Z8, had been stuck with Winnie the Pooh because of his unhealthy attitude of always finding himself in sticky situations just like Pooh. But even though he doesn't use Winnie's famous catchphrase, "Oh bother," he was known for always finding a way to clean the mess up and get back on track, just like Winnie. Craziest thing he's done, he had to shoot his brother Ciro Justo Hernandez, who was also a member of Los Zetas, but was caught snitching on the cartel. It's the hardest thing to do, but he did it and shot his own brother. After that, he wasn't the same ever again, and obviously he got PTSD because of this. Yes, you heard it right. Experienced assassin got post-traumatic stress disorder because of one murder, not because of the countless other murders he'd done. And the second craziest thing is that he commanded 2 prison breaks. Second one was done in 15 minutes, so it's probably the world record in this field. He took 50 of his men and raided a prison in 𝐴𝐴𝐺, which freed about 25 people from his cartel. Just a usual day in Mexico. José de Jesus Méndez Vargas, El Chango, the ape or the monkey. The leader of the now disbanded La Familia drug cartel was an exciting figure, but his behavior and name were more interesting. With him, he already had Jesus in his name, and for his protection, he employed 12 of the deadliest men his hands could get, and named them the 12 Apostles. But that wasn't enough to save him or keep his legacy alive. Just like Jesus in the Bible, as his group was divided into several factions after his arrest at a police checkpoint by the Mexican Federal Police, who had prior placed a $2.1 million on his arrest. Born in a big family, he was known for his love for food, his big neck, stomach, and scowl that of an ape could only match. And just like an ape, he was vicious when protecting his territory, which was in Acapulco. He greatly frowned and punished his foot soldiers who maltreated innocent people, especially women. He gave them codes of operations and banned the use and sale of narcotics in his region. He was well known for his belief in propaganda, and he ran countless of them to keep his organizations in the good books. But that didn't stop the fact that his group had been either directly or indirectly in wars, which has cost hundreds of thousands of lives in Mexico. And such violence and deaths aren't well known among the ape species, primarily known as the closest animals with a keen relationship with humans due to their ability to reason, think, and rationalize their thoughts and actions. Craziest thing he's done, running a drug cartel while being a religious man. Jaime Gonzalez Duran, El Hummer. For Jaime Gonzalez Duran, one of the 14 founding members of the Los Zetas, there was no better name than El Hummer. And if you think it is the popular SUV we're talking about, then you're entirely correct. With the car popularly known for its shortness, off-road durability, strength, meanness, and agility, so does Jaime Gonzalez, who at one time threatened to kill everyone in the Reynosa underworld who bought a Hummer simply because he had one. Just like every other drug baron, none loved to share. Born on October 8, 1971, Jamie grew up in a big family. He was a short, mean bully who looked down on everybody, and it didn't take long before he was shipped into the army, where he stayed and honed his skill not just as a bully but as a deadly assassin. He was trained by the U.S. Army 7th Special Forces and the Israeli Defense Force after joining Mexico's special unit known as the 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞, where he was taught how to efficiently take out terrorists, killers, and every other threat as smoothly as possible. 7 years later, he quit and followed his fellow deserters to join 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐿 camp after being enticed by the big pay and the luxurious life of a drug lord. With his military expertise, he turned out to become a thorn in the flesh of not just 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐿's opponents, but the Mexican forces, who don't have what it takes to match the short man's skills. Craziest thing he's done: he castrated Ciro Justo Hernandez, El Winnie Pooh's brother, Armando Russell Garcia, El Bob Esponja. For some, like Jamie Duran, the El Hummer, they could choose a name of their liking. Some names they could relate to, but for people like Armando Russell, he wasn't lucky enough. He was called El Bon Esponja, the SpongeBob, because during his time in the police, one of the arrested cartel bosses saw him watching a SpongeBob. He had returned and told his comrades about the man, and the name had stood ever since. For El Bob's lack of a square-shaped stomach, tiny legs, and a long pointed nose, he had SpongeBob's ability of having diverse personalities. Russell Garcia joined the army on August 2, 1995, and went ahead to become a soldier in the Mexicans' 39th Zone, which was located in Chiapas, an area known for its drug presence. When his contract ended in 2001, he joined the municipal police located in Culiacan, another area known for a more significant drug presence. There, he became a police officer from January 2005 to August 2007. But as expected, his multiple personalities had introduced him to life as a cartel member after being in close contact with them from his time in the army to his time in the police. And he even joined and rose as a high-ranking member in El Chapo Sinaloa drug cartel. The Navy arrested him after he was caught possessing drugs and automatic rifles, which were used mainly by drug gang members. Craziest thing he's done: as a former cop and military man, after his release, he went back to his crime business but was killed when his van, which he occupied with 3 other people, was overtaken. Everybody in the van was shot to death by highly trained killers who, till now, the world has yet to know their identity or reason for committing such dangerous acts on senior members of the Mexican drug world. Baltazar Salcedo Estrada, El Mataperos, Commander Mataperos, Commander Dog Killer. Being a member of the Los Zetas dangerous cartel group introduced you to many vices of life, including killings, kidnapping, robbery, extortion, and the rest. Still, they're mainly carried out on those that deserve it or those they deem as threats against their organization. But the same cannot be said for Baltazar, who, even with the strong directives guiding the Los Zetas drug cartel, still exhibited actions known only for mentally unstable individuals. After killing a stray dog that had walked up to him, the name Commander Dog Killer was given to him, and it has stuck ever since. And that wasn't the last of Baltazar's final irrational behavior. Craziest thing he's done: in 2011, he was sent to lead a group that was going to threaten a casino owner to pay his taxes to the drug group. Instead of doing what he was ordered, he went and set the casino, located in the northern city of Monterrey, on fire, thereby causing the death of 52 people. This deadly incident didn't just shock the Mexican police and the people in it, it also shocked the leaders of the drug group, which caused them to distance themselves from Baltazar. A frantic Baltazar had run off, hiding from city to city after the police placed a $1 million bounty on his head. Months later, he was caught trying to outrun a police checkpoint which had ordered his vehicle to stop.